Karen Suty with Friends of Oceano Dunes. Friends is deeply concerned by the continued erosion of camping and OHV recreation at the Oceano Dunes SVRA. We wanted to remind this commission how we got here. First, a public health scare was orchestrated by those who wanted to see the Oceano Dunes SVRA closed. They publicly pushed a narrative of silica coming from the Oceano Dunes causing silicosis. Years later, that was proven that there was no harmful silica coming from the Oceano Dunes, but the fear was already established within the community. Two, DPR hired the SAG to assist in their studies, but the SAG has failed to identify or quantify all of the dust emitters and determine if they are harmful or not. Three, DPR agreed to a 50% reduction in dust measured downwind at the CDF as part of the stipulated order of abatement. The problem with this was that DPR agreed to a requirement when they never knew the sources or the amounts of particulates coming from the Oceano Dunes. DPR had no data or modeling to support that a 50% reduction was even achievable, and DPR to this day does not know the contributions made by camping and OHV use at the Oceano Dunes, even after a decade of studies and millions of dollars have been spent. DPR has been closing acreage to camping and OHV recreation for dust mitigation to achieve an unverified requirement to reduce dust with no quantifications of where it's coming from. And as a result, hundreds of acres of camping has been closed to OHV use, and the DPR director has stated that a reduction in camping of 50% will most likely be required. Now, over a decade later and over $10 million spent, we learned that from the Scripps reports in this last week that, and I quote, "Our results suggest that the high dust concentrations measured on high wind days in and downwind of the Oceano Dunes are likely dominated by natural saltation processes associated with the indigenous geographical dune structure," end quote. And we also learned, quote, "Neither sea spray nor blown material dust from sand dunes has been associated with evidence of chronic respiratory effects," end quote. And finally, quote, "It's worth noting that there is no evidence of toxic compounds that are associated with the elevated PM concentrations detected downwind in the South Slope County sand dunes during windy conditions. Immediate action is needed by state parks and the OHV Commission if this park is going to continue. Friends of Oceano Dunes would like to offer its assistance and partner with state parks and the OHV Commission. We want to protect access for all while ensuring a no net loss management of the Oceano Dunes continues. We'd also like to recognize the expertise of the California Geological Survey and Mr. Will Harris, and he's been steadfast in his work with Scripps. I would also like to encourage state parks to do an independent peer review in addition to the SAG's review of the wind fencing from WeatherSolve. And the SAG scientists said it was hard to trust the data from the Scripps report, but I have a hard time trusting the APCD when they've spent the last 10 years misleading their community that they're going to die due to silicosis. Thank you.
Thank you.